You may ask yourself, why? Why? But you know what? Let me stop talking. Let's just listen to this because I want you to hear this.
And the sooner we get more people vaccinated, the better off we're going to be.
Mr. President, I get my second vaccine shot tomorrow. I cannot wait. I think it's important for us to keep talking about the vaccine.
Look, I'm going to tell you right off bat, I don't fuck with this nigga Charles Barkley at all. Nothing about him. Actually, I liked his shoes back in the day, but that's a whole nother story. Other than your shoes back in the day, Charles Barkley, you're terrible, okay? You heard me. You're fucking terrible. And listen, we have to let this context be known, by the way, guys. I am not racist. That's arguable. Some people might say I am because of the things that I've said, but let's just let this be known. While this man's talking about our community, look at these pictures of Charles Barkley's wife and kids. Just look at it, and I need you to ask yourself, is this man really concerned about these so-called urban black American communities? The ghettos and the gutters and the trenches, the hood. Is he really concerned about it, this man? Okay, let's see.
For us to keep talking about the vaccine. So I'm telling all my friends, yo man, forget what happened back in the day. Every black person, please go out and get vaccinated.
And this is where it is, guys. The gold mine. Let's hear it again.
So I'm telling all my friends, yo man, forget what happened back in the day. Every black person, please go out and get vaccinated. So I'm telling all my friends, yo man, forget what happened back in the day. So I'm telling all my friends, yo man, forget what happened back in the day. Every black person, please go out and get vaccinated.
So you have Barack Obama sitting here like, yeah, go on tell him. Go on tell him what we paid you to tell him. Go on tell him what's going to keep you safe in this motherfucking Babylonian kingdom. Go and tell him before we do something Bill Cosby your ass, before we set up a charge on your ass, you better go on and tell him, forget what that happened back in the day. Do you hear this man, Charles Barkley? Do you hear this bald-headed country bumpkin, jack-o'-lantern head looking ass, married to Becky, laying in the bed with Becky? You know damn well he's not reciting any Malcolm X's speech in the bed with that Becky. He ain't talking about no Black Panthers in the bed with that Becky. She looks way too happy for him to be a militant black man. But remember, this is the same Charles Barkley that did this.
Listen, Deshaun Jackson, Steven Jackson, Nick Cannon, Ice Cube, man, what the hell are y'all doing? Like, y'all want racial equality. We all do. I don't understand how insulting another group helps our cause. We can't allow black people to be prejudiced also, especially if we're asking for white folks to respect us, give us economic opportunity, and things like that. I'm so disappointed in these men, but I don't understand how you beat hatred with more hatred.
That stuff should never come up in your vocabulary, and it should never come up in your heart. I don't understand it. I'm never going to accept it.
So if this is what I got to do to get you to listen, then take a good look. But my eyes are up here, guys.
Yeah, remember, he's just completely fluid. He's gender fluid. Yeah, we know about you, Charles. You're gender fluid. And you got no rings. So here Charles Barkley is talking about, I'm telling every black person I know, all my family and friends and every black acquaintance I know, forget about what happened back in the day. Back in the day, guys, can you believe it? Back in the day. And this is why I really wanted to make this video. And I'm going to really stress this point, guys. I need you to look up the Tuskegee experiments, what they're calling the Tuskegee studies nowadays. Syphilis in the 1500s was rampant all throughout Europe, destroying families, destroying lives in Europe, which was the worst disease since the Black Plague. You can look this up. Yes. Syphilis, the same experiment that they were experimenting and seeing what it does to black people, this is the same thing that they've been very familiar with in their hometown of Europe since the 1500s. But when you look up the Tuskegee experiments, it says that the CDC, and mind you, this is public record, so you cannot take me down for this, YouTube. The actual Center for Disease Control and Prevention, the same CDC who today is telling us to wear a mask and get injected, those were the ones responsible for the Tuskegee experiment. But why am I bringing that up? I'm bringing that up because when you look into the Tuskegee study or the experiment, although they didn't need to study or experiment with anything because they knew very, very well the effects of syphilis because it had been ravaging their country since the 1500s. But if we go with the narrative that they were experimenting on Black American males in the 1930s to 1970s, because that is when it took place, we have to remember that. We have to remember that the Tuskegee experiment lasted until the 1970s. And it's not because the CDC or any American medical system said, you know what, let's stop experimenting on these black people and tell them what's going on and let's just clear our conscience. No, no, no. The only reason why we know about the Tuskegee experiments today is because there were whistleblowers who exposed the Tuskegee experiments, thus leading the U.S. to have to apologize. You can look into Bill Clinton apologizing yourself.
The 8 men who are survivors of the syphilis study at Tuskegee are a living link to a time not so very long ago that many Americans would prefer not to remember. What was done cannot be undone, but we can end the silence. We can stop turning our heads away. We can look at you in the eye and finally say, on behalf of the American people, what the United States government did was shameful, and I am sorry.
So, now that we have it all in context and realize that, hey, the Tuskegee experiment lasted till the 1970s. What does he mean so long ago? How is it so long ago, Charles Barkley? That's what I want to know. What's so long ago about the Tuskegee experiments when it was ended in the 1972? So they say. Most of our parents are older than 1972. That's how usually the red man plays the game, isn't it? Oh, well, slavery was so long ago. Jim Crow was so long ago. Lynching was so long ago. They like to make their crimes so long ago to make us seem petty, or like we're holding a grudge for holding on to something so long ago, something so long as slavery. Slavery was 200 years ago. Get over it. That's what they love to do to us. So now here Charles Barkley is with his baked potato head looking ass talking about the Tuskegee experiments is so long ago. Forget about what happened back in the day.
So I'm telling all my friends, yo man, forget what happened back in the day. Every black person, please go out and get vaccinated.
And just so you know, Charles Barkley, we still remember very much so what happened. So let's move forward. Because remember, this man had the nerve to say black people need to forget about the same CDC who was experimenting on them as early as the 70s. We're supposed to forget about that. And look at the smug nature of Barack Obama as he's like, yep. But let's move forward because I have a few more things to say.
I am vaccinated. My family has underlying conditions that are also vaccinated, but I'm not worried about me or my family. I'm worried about the average mom and dad.
Lies, 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 Shaquille O'Neal. Shaquille O'Neal, in my opinion, is a 7-foot slave. I said it again. Shaquille O'Neal is a 7-foot buck-broken slave. Here this man is talking about, I got both my injections.